Hi guys, I'm back again. And today we're gonna go over some E.L.F. cosmetics. I've never technically used E.L.F. makeup before, and this is a new one for me. Anyone who watched my E.L.F. skincare already kind of knows that it was created by two guys, used to be based in New York, now it's in California, and they have over 300 products. They are a cruelty-free brand, and they do not do animal testing. Now, everything I've read and found on E.L.F. is great. They're supposed to be a really good product. You get more of a luxury and a drugstore price. And the idea came to the gentleman based on watching all of these huge, fancy, expensive cars pull into these 99-cent dollar makeup places. And why not come up with a cheaper, luxurious type of brand? And it was $2. And I think the most expensive thing I have is, I don't know, maybe this eyeshadow palette. And I want to say it was like maybe 10, maybe 8. Really don't remember. It's cheap, and I'll find out how well it is. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what I picked up, and then I'm just going to go ahead and do my makeup. I'm going to start with the E.L.F. primer. This is a mattifying hydrating primer. I don't know how that's going to work. I have their corrector, and I'm going to use this peachish color under my eyes to see how that works out. I have their camo concealer, and I have it in fair beige. I also picked up their flawless finish foundation, and I have that in snow, and it's supposed to be an oil-free satin finish, and we'll see. And you're supposed to be able to build with it if you want a little bit more coverage than not. I also picked up their cream contour palette. I feel like I can mix that up a little bit. So, powders. Now, I couldn't find any really loose powders or anything like that, but I did find this Perfect Finish HD powder, which is translucent. I also picked up Sheer Tint Finishing, which is a light, fair, medium kind of color. I picked up a jelly highlighter. Looks like that. Lip primer and plumper, which comes in this. It's double-ended. It was only $3. So not bad for the amount that you got. I just hope it works. Two different, or I should say 3 different eyeliners, because I didn't know which route I wanted to go. Waterproof gel eyeliner. Proof kind of felt tip pen as well. What I really want to try is this Intense Ink eyeliner. It's a thick one. It almost looks like a big marker. And you're supposed to be able to keep it thin or go thick. So we'll find out. Eyeshadow primer, which I don't even know what that looks like yet. A little dauber. Clear gel, and it's double-ended as well, and it has mascara on one end and for your eyebrows on the other. I picked up this lovely rose gold eyeshadow. It's called Sunset, and it looks really pretty. I also picked up this Pump It Up mascara, the wine colored lips, and a dewy setting mist. So with that, let's just get to town. Smells a little flowery to me. I don't know if I like that. Now the corrector actually comes with this teeny tiny little applicator brush, so I'm gonna use it. I might have put too much on. It's really creamy. I'm gonna do my eye makeup first because E.L.F. now has these tapes for your eye makeup, and I'm gonna use one. Now, what I'm gonna actually do is take one and cut it in half, so I actually have 2 smaller guys. I don't need a long one. I'm not doing anything crazy today. Even? Good enough. I'm gonna put my primer on my eye. Now this primer looks like it's supposed to be a peach color, more skin color, but to me it looks a little bit more on the clear side and I prefer a little bit more color. I'm actually gonna go in and do my eyebrows. I'm using light brown. They didn't have that many options. Now, I'm not gonna say that I don't like it, but I don't love it. It is a little waxier for me than I like. Now, I'm gonna use my concealer. I know I primed my eyes already, but I'm actually gonna use the concealer to kind of carve it out a little bit more. And I'm gonna bring this down into my eyes a little bit more because I really don't think that eyeshadow primer covered enough of what I like. I can see my veins and some of my freckles on my eyes, and usually my eyeshadow primer is more tinted and takes care of that for me. I'm happier. All right, I'm gonna go in and do some eyeshadow. I'm gonna use this as my transition shade. And then I'm going to go in and blend pretty much these three colors. Now I'm going in with that one. A little bit more concentrated in the crease. I like how that's turning out so far, but I'm gonna blend it together a little bit. I'm now gonna go in with this one right here. And kind of a V at the corner, outer corner. And I'm gonna exaggerate it out just a little bit and bring it up closer to my brow. It actually looks like two different colors. I don't really know why. So I'm gonna go in and add a little bit darker here because this one is more of a bronzy and this is more of an orangey, and I don't like that. Now I'm actually gonna go in with this color right here with my finger. And I'm gonna dab it in the middle. Then I'm gonna go in right here and just put that right on the center of my eyelid. Now, I'm not 100% on how I feel about it right now, but I usually never am if I do my eyeshadow first, because I usually do my face. But let's see what happens. Now, I really want to try this intense ink, and I'm gonna that's pretty dramatic. All right. I feel like I'm getting a little pink in spots. I don't know. I wonder. Might be the primer. Actually took a long time just to get that out. Ooh, that's really light. I'm gonna use the lightest of the contour. Not so easy to blend in. I'm trying. I'm using a damp sponge. Now I'm gonna go in with the Camo Concealer. That might be a little light, even for me. Now, I think I like that concealer, but I think it's a little bit too light for me. I think I should go one shade up as well as one shade up for the foundation, because even though it looks like it matches me, that was really pale. So I'm actually gonna go back in with a little bit more contour, the darker contour, and see if I can get some definition. I'm gonna go a little darker. I look really white. Let's see if I can adjust that. Now, they didn't really have a setting powder, at least not that I could find. So I'm gonna use a sheer tint finishing powder kind of as a setting powder. Now I know that it's a little bit finer usually, but I'm gonna try it anyway and see what happens. Okay, so I do feel that the sheer tint finishing powder that I used as a setting did warm me up a little bit. Nothing too crazy though. I think if I had a bronzer or a darker powder to put over to kind of help finish the contour, maybe I'd like it more. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some blush on, and I do have their blush palette like I showed you, and these are the colors that came in. Now this I may be able to use a little bit for a bronzer, but maybe not. Ugh, that might have been a mistake. Okay. It's a little too long, Jay. Great. So we're just gonna go in with so I'm just gonna go in with this color right here a little bit. I'm gonna dab it on the apple of my cheek. He's sleeping. Can you hear him? I guess he thinks this is boring. Now I'm gonna go back in under my eyes because I feel like they look a little weird because I'm not finished with them yet. With this one right here and then a little bit of this guy. Now I'm gonna go in and just buff this out and blend. I'm gonna go and do my tight line with my gel. Go in and put the mascara. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. Right now I'm a little disappointed in it. I put 2 coats on so far. I don't really notice my eyelashes. I know I have thin, short lashes, but I bought a Plump It Up, and I would think that it would, I don't know, make them look like they're there a little bit. It's one of my things that I need. Everybody's got that one product you need. I'm gonna go ahead and use my jelly highlighter. That's really wet. Like really wet. I didn't expect it to be like that. I'm gonna put 3, oh God. I'm just gonna try to blend that out with my finger a little bit. Personally, I wouldn't consider this a jelly highlighter. This is wet. There's nothing jelly about it. And for it being so wet, to be honest, I feel like it should be more blingy. I like a good highlight, and I feel like I would need to go in with a powder on top of this. It's not bad, but not for what it is, actually. I'm gonna go in with more mascara. Four layers. Better, but I shouldn't have to put 4 layers of mascara on, and still not great. My lips on, and then I might get some bronzer out. Now I am gonna use their primer and their plumper to see if it actually helps, because my lipstick doesn't like to stay, even the long staying stuff. Oh yeah, that makes it like disappear completely. Hello guys. That is a darker primer than the eyeshadow primer. That's kind of disappointing, actually. I expected my eyeshadow primer to be like this, and I expected my lip primer to be like my eyeshadow primer. Now I'm gonna use a plumper. It's broken already. It's a good thing it was only $3. Maybe 5. I don't really remember. It definitely tingles. And I have the primer on underneath it, and you can actually put the plumper on alone or over the primer. I feel like there's a lot of stuff on my lips right now. I don't know. It has a mentholated pepperminty smell, which is probably what's causing the tingling sensation, more like a stinging sensation. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this on over this. I don't know how well that's gonna work out because I feel like this is really wet and creamy. This was supposed to be a wine color, but because I have all that primer and stuff on, it's more pink. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off and see if I can actually get the color that I'm supposed to have. I am not liking that lip primer. It doesn't dry. Let's try this again. There's the color. Now the one thing that I could not find as well was lip liners. So I don't think they make any. I feel like I need it. I feel a little sticky. And that was a lipstick. And I have a feeling it's gonna be all over the place. As soon as I take a drink of something or a bite of anything, it's gonna be everywhere. I mean, I know I didn't buy a liquid stay all day, but at the same time, usually my lipstick doesn't feel like it's gonna transfer all over my face. I grabbed their dewy setting mist, which is kind of coconutty, so I like that. Well guys, that's the end of doing e.l.f. makeup for me today. I have to say, I liked some of it. I was not a big fan of a few items. What I did like, however, was the foundation. I haven't worn it all day yet, but it did go on pretty easily. The colors are a little bit lighter than what you see in the bottle, so be a little bit careful when you do that. The corrector concealer, this worked pretty well under my eyes. It is kind of thick, so you don't actually need as much as I put on. I ended up putting on way too much. Loved the new concealer. It's just really light for me, so I probably need a darker shade for the first time ever. And but I liked it. It did the job. It didn't crease or anything. Also really liked the eyeshadow palette. You know, it's not bad. It's pretty well pigmented, and it's a little bit on the thinner side, not powdery. It's a little silky feeling. You can actually build it and make your eyeshadow as deep in a color as you'd like, or keep it as fair as you'd like. So I really liked that. I did like the really thick eyeliner. It was really fun, and I did this nice, big, huge, thick, dramatic wing, and I never do that. So I really liked that. And I really liked the sheer tint setting powder. It helped me a little. What I did not like I didn't like the eyeshadow primer. Now, I don't know if it's gonna help my eyeshadow stay longer, but it really just didn't do what I needed it to do, and it's colored. It's supposed to give me a color on my eyelid, and it did not. It ended up being more of a clear by the time it was on there, and it felt like it didn't do anything because I could still see everything underneath, and I don't actually like that. So I wouldn't waste your money on the primer, even though it's not expensive. It's only like $2. Eyebrow pencil, I could live with it and I can live without it. It was just a little bit too waxy for me, and I like a little bit of a softer finish. The jelly highlighter, it's a hard pass for me. I just don't like it. It's nothing jelly about it. It is liquid, and I couldn't show you that it was jelly all that much because it would have tipped out and been all over the place. I really feel like I need more of that, or I need to put it under my stuff to create like an iridescence, but I really wouldn't say it's a highlighter. I'd say it's more like a base highlight for me. Under my foundation, I would probably use it again, but not on top of. Instead, the mascara, I could live without. It didn't actually do the job that I thought it was gonna do. It's supposed to plump it up, and I feel like I barely have eyelashes. I need to put lashes on. The primer, it was okay. I didn't like the smell of it. It smelled a little flowery to me. Other than that, I mean, I could live with or without E.L.F. cosmetics in my life. I'm not trying to be mean or bad about it. I liked some of it. I didn't like enough of it to say, hey, that's my go-to. To me, it's like a C, a solid C. Products, over 300 products. They don't have any lip liner. They don't have a big enough selection of different things, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just not for me. But I am gonna give it another shot because I do everything twice, and you can join me again on Sunday for Makeup and Mimosas with Gigi as we both go over some of the E.L.F. stuff together. So guys, at the very end, I ended up adding my bronzer from Physicians Formula to warm up the look a little bit because it needed it. I looked sickly. It was almost too light and everything, but if you don't have that much experience with makeup and you're just learning, I think E.L.F. is a great product for you to try. It's cruelty-free. They don't test on animals, and I think you'll like it. It's just not something that I would see myself using every day or reaching for all the time. Maybe the eyeshadow palette, I will probably pick up a couple more just to try out. And my lipstick is already sliding all over the place. The primer was too white. The eyeshadow primer was too light. And, you know, live and learn. But I'm gonna try it again on Sunday. So stay tuned. Bye guys. See ya.